Let me find out AEW is cooking again on Saturday night, man. AEW Collision live from Memphis, Tennessee. There's a lot going on tonight, man. We got wrestling in Memphis. We got wrestling in Chicago. We got Jesse afraid that Pepsi Phil is going to show up for Impact. Oh, man, he's that Taco Man is hilarious, man. Bryan Danielson and Andrade, El Idolo. Two of the best pro wrestlers on the planet. Showed you why tonight. Excellent TV match. We'll go over it move for move like geeks. Tonight. House of Black, they are back. And I've seemingly targeted everybody on Saturday night, including the Blackpool Combat Club. I love it. Absolutely love it. Show long storyline. It's what I like to see on my Saturday night. And Miro. What is going on with Miro and his wife? I don't know, man, but CJ now is eyeing Andrade, and that may spell bad news for El Idolo. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the OTS venue on this Saturday night where the beverages are cold. And Jesse's not in the kitchen, so you guys won't be poisoned this evening. When I get there, man, I'm going to ask you one very important question on this Saturday night. Raise him up. What the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a Saturday night, man. What a Saturday night we got
for everybody tonight in the OTS venue, man. We're back in my mother's basement, bro. We're back in my mother's basement. And tonight we're going to talk Collision. We're going to talk Collision. Jesse's in Chicago at the Impact show. And wait a minute, my phone is ringing. My phone is ringing. I can't even go bother him to go see what's going on here. Oh, yeah, Jesse, what's going on, man? What's going on? What are you talking about, man? Listen, bro, you've been paranoid all day. Tweets, texting me during Collision. Pepsi Phil. Well, you don't want CM Punk in Impact, huh? Oh, you thought he was going to show up at the end of the Speedball Mike Bailey and Ospreay match, right? What happened? He didn't show up. Oh, you thought he was going to be there because Ace Steel was backstage producing some of the show, right? Hey, listen, man, you still got 20 minutes. You still got 20 minutes you can show up. Listen, man, you'd be lucky if you get CM Punk on Impact. I mean, holy shit, man, their attendance numbers would go through the roof. Instead of having 20 people, there'll be 25 people there. Come on, man, he's not showing up on Impact. Well, what are they going to pay him in? What are they going to pay him with, man? A couple of hamburgers and a big fucking large Coke? Oh, Pepsi, I'm sorry. Pepsi. Listen, man, I know why you don't want him there, because you're afraid of Larry. You're afraid of Larry, man. Yeah, little handsome Larry. Give me a break, man. Larry is fucking handsome, okay? Handsome. Anyway, bro, I got a fucking show to do, man. You got anything else you want to bother me with? Yeah, your tacos suck, man. Everybody's eating good tonight, man. Titus is in the fucking kitchen. You and your goddamn fucking tacos, man. And listen, stop with the corn tortillas, okay? Can we go to flour, please? I can't stand it. I can't stand it. All right, listen. I'm going to have to dump you on Wednesdays, man, if you keep up the CM Punk slander. But I'll talk to you then, man. All right, I'll see you later. This fucking guy, man. Impact is... He's just texted me. He's texting me. Impact is done and TNA is back. Oh, man. Holy shit, man. Can it get any worse over there for Impact Wrestling? Listen, man, let me go take my seat. I'm going to go upstairs, pull up a drink, man, and a chair, and enjoy the fucking show, this guy, man. Fucking Impact. I don't believe this guy. I really don't. TNA is back, huh? Jesus fucking Christ, man. Why? What is wrong? What's wrong with Impact? What's wrong with Impact? I gotta go back to TNA? Oh, man, oh, man. Listen, I don't cover that shit on Thursday nights, man. That's his forte. It's not mine. But no CM Punk, huh? No CM Punk on this Saturday evening. Everybody was worried. I don't want Pepsi Phil. I don't want Pepsi Phil at Impact. Whatever. Tonight we're talking Collision, man. It's nice to be back in my mother's basement, man. Giving the geeks something to talk about, man. Yes, Kazuchika Okada is going to be on Dynamite Wednesday. Why? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit, man? That is good television. And he's going to be in the ring with Bryan Danielson. I don't know how anybody can complain about that. Love to see it. Love to see it. We got Okada on Wednesday, man. We are eating good on AEW television, man. Collision. Collision was a very solid show tonight. Forwarded some stories. And the House of Black make their return to television and are causing havoc all over Collision on Saturday night. And they have now targeted the Blackpool Combat Club. And I love it. We don't know why. We don't know what their agenda is. We don't have any clue as to what they're doing. And I don't really give a shit. I don't really give a shit. Because Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King, they deserve a major spotlight on Saturday night. And it seemingly looks like they are about to get it. And hopefully this isn't just, the here and the now for the House of Black. They need to be a major focus all over the show. And I would even do it on Wednesday as well. They showed up tonight, and Malachi made his return. Gave Bryan and Danielson a black mass at the end of his match with Andrade tonight, which was fucking great. Don't know how anybody watched that match and didn't think the same thing. Two of the best in the world. And he gave Bryan Danielson a black mass. And it looks like, from my vantage point, it looks like Malachi may be headed towards a singles role. And Brody, along with Buddy Matthews, may be going after the tag team division, which I think would be the best thing for them. Malachi's been in a tag team element for basically all of his AEW run. And all four of those guys, Malachi, Miro, Andrade, all the potential. There we go. You got audio now? How did my audio go out? That should fix it. That should fix it. I'm sorry, man. My Rodecaster is fucking garbage, okay? I plug it into one outlet. I plug it into one plug on the back, and it doesn't work. I gotta use the secondary fucking plug. Hopefully that worked. I don't know, man. Now we got an echo. Do we have an echo? Hold on. Are we good to go now? Are we good to go now? Sorry. All these microphone fucking problems, man. This is what happens when Jesse is in here. I don't even remember what I was saying now. Oh, God. What was the last thing? I'm going to leave it up to you guys. What was the fucking last thing you heard on the goddamn stream? What was the last thing you guys heard on the stream? I don't know. It's all Jesse's fault. Let's blame Jesse. House of Black is back. That's what I was talking about. The House of Black. All right. House of Black is back on television. I don't give a shit why they're there. I don't give a shit why they're attacking Bryan Danielson, what their agenda is. I don't really give a shit. I just want them on television. I just want them on television. That's all I care about. It's been a long time coming. I was saying Malachi Black and Miro, guys like Black and Miro and Pac and Andrade, Buddy Matthews, guys like that have come over from WWE. Pac has probably had the most success out of everybody because he's held championship gold. Malachi has held championship gold as well, but they didn't really do anything with the Trios championships. There was hope there. There was promise there, but they didn't really do much of anything. I feel like AEW has taken these specific WWE X talents for granted, and they haven't tapped into their full potential. I'm hoping what we're seeing now with the House of Black, because they were all over this show tonight. They were in the open, they were in the middle, and they were in the ending of the show. Hopefully this is a new chapter for them, and it's just not a one-off. It's just not a here and now type of deal, because AEW needs to do something fresh. Seriously. They should be all over these shows. And from what I saw, my vantage point, it looks like Malachi may be targeting Bryan Danielson because he was the first one to strike tonight. He may be targeting Bryan Danielson, and he ended up giving him a black mass. It looks like potentially that Malachi may finally be getting a singles role in AEW. And that's exactly what he needs to do. Brody and Buddy are more than capable of handling any tag team in that entire division. They don't need to constantly be tied to the hip. They don't. Malachi can go do his thing, and when he needs to and when he wants to, he could team up with his guys. But separating them is going to make them stronger, because you're going to spread out the wealth across AEW television instead of keeping them in one thing that you didn't even do well with them when you had it. And that's tag team trios. We don't need them to do tag team trios. But a feud with the House of Black and the Blackpool Combat Club, I mean, this is something that we were talking about a year ago. This is something that we've been talking about for a long time now. And AEW finally seems to be doing it. And I have no problem with that. Bryan Danielson and Andrade, they had a great match tonight. I mean, that goes without saying. And strategically, Tony Khan started the show off tonight with that. And at the same time, a lot of people were tuning in to Impact Bound for Glory. So he strategically put that match on first and basically let them go over 20 minutes. It was a good chunk of the show taken up by Bryan Danielson and Andrade. So I think that's great. And I'd love to see more of that from both of those guys, whether it's together or just anywhere, honestly, all over the show. I mean, you can't go wrong with Andrade and Bryan Danielson. I mean, the match was fucking perfect. For a television match, it was perfect. Their styles are so great. They gelled together perfectly. It was just a great a great television match. It'll probably go down as one of the best television matches that you'll see all year. And AEW's had a lot of great television matches. And Bryan continues to put on great matches no matter what. So he's seemingly getting whatever the fuck he wants, man. He is eating good on AEW television. He really is. Then we got the Miro situation. I don't know what they're doing with Miro on this show. I really don't. Apparently there's a storyline where CJ is... Miro... The last thing that we saw from Miro and the last thing that we heard from Miro when he actually opened his mouth to speak, because he doesn't really speak, is he yelled, "You're not real, you're not real." And she debuted a few weeks ago, "You're not real." He didn't believe that she was real. And she's back, and apparently she was looking for someone to manage. Tonight it was Action Andretti. He got beaten up. He got destroyed by Miro. So now she's looking at another guy in Andrade to potentially manage. So I don't know if this is just a long-term thing for her to maybe pick certain guys, have Miro slay them and go through them, where they eventually end up back together. Can't really complain about it as long as he's on television getting something as far as the storyline is concerned. So I like that for the most part. And more Miro, please. Again, like I mentioned before, Malachi and Miro, guys like that, man, they should be all over this show. All over this show. I thought Collision was better than Dynamite, to be honest with you. I thought Collision was better than Dynamite. I wasn't really too big on Dynamite. I thought Dynamite was kind of weak. wasn't a bad show by any means. It was just a weak show compared to the Tuesday show, the Title Tuesday show that they did going up against NXT. That was last week, and I felt like coming out of that show, they should have had an equal or greater show, a stronger show, and they did not. So I thought Collision tonight was much better than Dynamite. We even got a tease of the Devil. It was only one Devil. It was only one man in the Devil mask. Nobody knows who this is, but Jay White was about to cut a promo, and the Devil mask, the Devil individual, showed up on the big screen, and he didn't really do anything but make some weird motions with his neck and his head, and he looked into a mirror, and he looked at himself, and then the screen went black. So we didn't really get any advancement on that. The only advancement that we got on who is the Devil and who's behind the mask is Jay White thinks it's MJF. So that's what they're going with right now. We didn't really get anything said from Jay White. We didn't get MJF. We didn't get anything else from the Bullet Club on Saturday night. But all in all, I thought Saturday night was a very good show for AEW Collision, man. It flowed nicely, and I thought it was a solid show on this Saturday night. We are going to get into everything that happened tonight, guys. I appreciate you joining me on the podcast this evening. It is Saturday, 10/21/2023. Thank you for joining me on your Saturdays, wherever you may be. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Super chats are open. You guys can get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Memberships are open as well. Make sure you guys re-up. If you guys want to join, become a first-time VIP right here, hit that join button down below and join the OTS family. Sorry about the technical difficulties before, man. I had a plug that was plugged into the wrong outlet here, and I had my wireless microphone, my DJI, plugged into my PC. That was causing the echo. Don't know why it causes an echo, because they should be on two separate outlets, but whatever the case may be, man, we are back and we are going to rock and roll here. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. There's plenty of it. Uploaded an extra today that seemingly YouTube did not want to push out because fuck wrestling today, I guess, with everything else going on. Talked about Randy Orton and his return, basically confirmed for Survivor Series, and WWE having 4 major matches already planned for WrestleMania. Man, is it good to be on the receiving end of long-term booking. Gotta love it. So go check that out. It's on the homepage right now. We really appreciate you guys going to check that out. Help out the video, help out the channel. And tonight's show sponsored by DraftKings. Once again, sponsored by DraftKings. Go to the website. Link is in the description below. Bet $5 and get $200 back in bonus bets instantly during your NFL Sunday, man. Use that promo code JD from NY and get $200 back in bonus bets instantly via DraftKings. Collision, man. We're starting off with Bryan Danielson and Andrade El Idolo. First thing that we saw was great wrestling on AEW Collision. Shocker. I couldn't wait for this match, man. I was very excited about this match tonight. They were in Memphis, Tennessee. I don't know what it is with Memphis. I don't know if it was the arena. I don't know if it was just where they were, or the city that they were in. Memphis sounded a little weak. Memphis was very weak tonight. And I wish AEW would run smaller, intimate venues instead of running a 8,000, 9,000 seat venue and they only pull 2,500 people. Come on now. I also did not know, because I don't watch Collision on a weekly basis. I'm only here this week because I wanted to get as much content out to you guys because I was away for a few days. Seemingly, I missed nothing, and seemingly you guys don't really give a shit. The fact that we don't even have 1,000 people in here yet, so I may not even cover Collision period anymore, honestly. But the one thing that I did notice that I did not notice is that Tony Schiavone is now the lead play-by-play man on Saturday night. Not a fan. I'm not a fan of Tony Schiavone being lead play-by-play. I don't know why that decision was made. I don't know why Tony Khan decided to do that now when he specifically hired Kevin Kelly for the job. Now we got a 3-man booth on Saturday night. At some point during tonight, we had a 4-man booth. But now we have regular 3-man booth on Saturday night to basically combat Dynamite, which also has a 3-man booth in Taz, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur. And on Saturday night, we got Tony Schiavone, Nigel McGuinness, who's fucking fantastic, and Kevin Kelly, who I'm a big fan of. But why do we need Tony Schiavone in the lead play-by-play role? Honestly, at this stage of his career, I can't really digest Tony Schiavone as a lead play-by-play guy, as a color guy, and a guy that's going to add some color on top of everything that Excalibur is doing. I can digest it. But Tony Schiavone, at this stage of his career, I don't think should be doing play-by-play commentary. I don't know why, and this is just my personal preference. I don't know why we just don't get Ian Riccaboni back on Saturday night. I mean, I don't know what vibe they're going for on Saturday. I don't know if they want the old school WCW Saturday night feel or what. But why are we trying to mimic that? Why are we not trying to give Collision a different feel, a feel all to its own? Ian Riccaboni is fucking great at what he does. Don't know why we don't put him in there. If you didn't want Kevin Kelly there, I don't know why you didn't put Ian Riccaboni in there. Why Tony Schiavone? I think I read sometime during the day today that Tony Schiavone was asking Tony Khan for another shot at play-by-play, and Tony Khan obliged and gave Tony Schiavone the spot. Not a fan of that move. I don't know. He just doesn't elicit any excitement on the show to me in that role. Now, some people didn't like Kevin Kelly. I can understand why people didn't like Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly is very old school. But Tony Schiavone, I think we're good on Tony Schiavone being lead play-by-play, honestly. He just doesn't cut it for me especially. I don't know how you guys feel, but I didn't like the move. So, I'm going to pick it up after the commercial break here. Andrade and Danielson, for a good portion of the first, I would say, 5 or 6 minutes, they were basically testing the waters with each other. They were going back and forth, and there was about 3 different stalemates between Danielson and Andrade. After they got all of that out of their system, Bryan Danielson reversed Andrade into a ring post and then hit the Busaiku knee off the ring apron. He smiled. We went to commercial break, and we come back from commercial break. They were going back and forth at each other. Danielson eventually climbed to the top rope and landed a shotgun dropkick. He then kipped up and played up to the Memphis crowd, trying to get them involved. Danielson set up a suplex off the top rope, but Andrade countered and double stomped Danielson down to the mat. Then he hit running knees in the corner, the running Meteora in the corner. He goes for a covering. That's a 1, 2, and then a kick out, near fall. Danielson came back and stomped away at Andrade and then went for the label lock. Andrade escaped and tried to apply a figure 4 mid-ring. Then he tried to transition into a figure 8, but Danielson quickly got to the bottom rope, and Andrade never really got the full extension on the figure 8. They stood up. They were going back and forth at each other with some chops and some kicks. There was a spot where Andrade came up short on a kick, and Andrade landed a big spinning back elbow, his signature move. Andrade avoided a Busaiko knee, rolled up Danielson, countering the Busaiko knee. They reversed each other a couple of times in some quick pinning combinations, and Danielson eventually scored a 3 count on a leverage pin. Looked like it was a crucifix pin for the 1, 2, 3. Very good match. Crowd seemingly was into it because it's Bryan Danielson and Andrade, and they're both fucking unbelievable professional wrestlers. This was a dream match booked by Tony Khan for Saturday night. It didn't have a story. It didn't have a meaning at all. There was nothing behind it. It was basically two of the best pro wrestlers in the world going at it on Saturday Night Collision, and that was it. Now, I'm not going to complain about Bryan Danielson and Andrade in the ring. There's no fucking way that I would ever do that. But I will say this. You know, it really opens up AEW to some valid criticism, because Tony Khan is already under fire for what he did this past week, coming out of Title Tuesday, complaining about the ratings after the ratings dropped, mentioning Triple H and The Undertaker and HBK and John Cena and all these different things. Brought up his mother. He says he hates all the trolls with the fucking power of 1,000 suns. He hates them with all his soul and all his might. I mean, he went off the fucking rails on social media. God knows what that man deals with on a weekly basis, a daily basis. I get some of that every day. God only knows what he has to deal with. But some of the narrative on social media is AEW doesn't have story. Now, that couldn't be any further from the truth. I mean, AEW does have story. I mean, they created story tonight. You don't know what the story is yet because it just began tonight, but they had a show-long story over 2 hours. MJF, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, The Kingdom, Jay White, and the Bullet Club Gold. I mean, they're all embroiled in this storyline right now. MJF and Adam Cole are on the verge of having the best story in AEW history. Adam Cole is injured right now, so they need to deviate away from what the original plan was, and hopefully he gets back soon so that they can continue the story. But that story has taken AEW all summer and told great stories over Dynamite and Collision. So right then and there, the narrative of, AEW doesn't have stories, man. Clearly, you don't watch the fucking show and you're speaking out of your fucking asshole. Then we got Adam Copeland coming to AEW. Clearly, you knew what his agenda was when he joined AEW. He was there for Christian Cage. So please tell me how AEW doesn't have fucking stories when Adam Copeland and Christian Cage bring 25 years of story to AEW. The fuck are you talking about? Adam Copeland, FTR, best friends. The fuck are you talking about? No story, man. Those two stories on Wednesday night are going to take AEW into the next level. Long-term booking, just based on those two stories. Then you got the other minor stories that are happening. Swerve Strickland and his rise, Adam Page, MJF is looking at Kenny Omega's world title reign. He's got what? Less than 13 days now. It was 13 days on Wednesday. So now we're looking at 9 days. It's great. MJF's got his hand in all these different jars, all these different cookie jars. So AEW does have story. The point I'm trying to make is when Tony Khan books a match like this, some people are going to get their fucking dick hard over something like Andrade and Bryan Danielson. I don't blame them. But when Tony Khan books this match when there's no meaning and there's no story, that's when he becomes a focus of criticism. And I can see why. But it's a great wrestling match. Who gives a shit if you got a bunch of different moving parts for the rest of the show and he wants to give you one dream match? Did you not like the match? Do you not like to watch Bryan Danielson wrestle? Do you not appreciate what Andrade can do in that ring? Two of the finest pro wrestlers on the planet. And you're complaining about pro wrestling on a pro wrestling show. But I get why people would complain. As long as he's doing it sporadically every now and then, and it's not something that happens every week. But Bryan Danielson now is going to Dynamite, and he's going to be in the ring with Kazuchika Okada. I mean, Tony Khan is a master of hot shot booking. What are we doing there? Are we just giving Bryan Danielson whoever the fuck he wants to wrestle with no rhyme or reason? At some point, people are going to be asking, well, where's the story? Why does this match need to happen on this show? What is the meaning of this? AEW tends to do things without explaining themselves way too much. There needs to be some form of explanation. So yes, I don't mind it every now and then, but don't make it a fucking habit. Otherwise, all the people complaining, Tony Khan's going to make look right. And he doesn't want to do that because that's only more fuel to the fire. That's only loading the gun, loading their chamber even more so. And they're constantly going to be pulling the trigger, aiming the gun at Tony Khan when he makes a decision like that because he's already being criticized about the way he books his shows. Just calling attention to what is a major problem. We're better than that. We're beyond that. We don't need to hot-shot dream matches for the sake of hot-shotting dream matches. At some point or another, you're going to blow through these dream matches, and then what do you got? You got nothing. Then you're going to have to go back and do what you should be doing now. Story. Great match. It went 20 minutes. It's Bryan Danielson and Andrade. What the fuck did you expect? Like the sun is going to shine, or if this case, or in this case, like New York is going to fucking pour for another 3 fucking days. Of course, these guys had a great match. Danielson celebrated. All of a sudden, the lights went out. Then they came back on, and Malachi Black was in the ring, surprised Bryan Danielson, and gave him a black mass, knocked him out. Lights went out again. Wheeler Yuta and Claudio were in the ring with Danielson, while Black was nowhere to be seen. Instantly intrigued. So we get a dream match, and then we get some semblance of a story. Great. You got my interest. Black and Bryan, take my money. That's the type of shit I want to see on Saturday night. I don't know why he's there. I don't know why he's targeting Bryan. I don't know what his narrative is or what his agenda is. Quite frankly, I don't give a shit because Malachi and the House of Black should be reckless and should be causing chaos. I don't know why we haven't seen this feud yet on AEW television. A vignette aired with Darby talking about how when Nick Wayne came to AEW, he would always ask why the fans hate him so much. Darby said fans online said he wasn't ready for AEW and he was too young. Darby said their words won't matter when he's dead, but rather what he accomplished will matter. They showed footage of Nick Wayne's chipped tooth and bloody mouth from last week. Darby said he'll be at Dynamite this Wednesday when Tony Khan gives Sting a gift. And if it is what I think it is, it'll be special. He invited Nick Wayne to come out and find him on Wednesday. Now, I don't know what they're advertising this for. It's a weird, bizarre way to get people to watch the show. Tony Khan is going to present Sting with a gift. A gift of what? What type of gift? And is Christian Cage going to crash the party? That's all I care about. We'll see what happens on Wednesday. Darby got a face tattoo, apparently. People were calling out Darby on social media this weekend. He got a face tattoo and he did some death-defying jump at some event over the weekend. I mean, who gives a shit? The guy is a daredevil. He's a crash test dummy. Let him do what he wants to do. Guy's got injuries upon injuries, yet he thinks he's going to climb Mount Everest in April. If he continues to be a crash test dummy, he ain't going to make it up at least fucking... How big is Mount Everest? He won't even make it 1/10 of the way up. Skye Blue. She went one-on-one with Hollywood Hallie J from OVW, the Netflix documentary that's been lighting the wrestling community on fire. I think it's a great show. I can't wait for season 2. I'm intrigued by a lot of the characters, but I was mostly intrigued by Hollywood Hallie J and her mother on that show. I thought they were the most intriguing characters so far on the entire show. I know Hollywood Hallie J had a tryout at the Performance Center. I believe this was in September, if I'm not mistaken. She got called to the Performance Center, and then there was a report that she did not make the tryout, and WWE kind of canceled it. Something to do with a medical reason or something of another. I don't know what it was. I don't know why they didn't give her a tryout, but I'm assuming that when they get that all squared away, she will be getting a proper WWE tryout. I can't see why WWE wouldn't want to bring her in and get her on NXT. I think she'd be a perfect fit down there for NXT. But she went one-on-one with Skye Blue. I'll get to Hollywood Hallie J in a second, man. This Skye Blue thing is very intriguing to me, honestly. Skye Blue was misted by Julia Hart several weeks ago. And I love the fact that when people get misted by Julia Hart, they start turning to the dark side. Now, I don't know what this is going to mean for Skye Blue. I don't know where they're taking this. But Willow Nightingale also got misted by Julia Hart. And Willow Nightingale was also kind of succumbing to the dark side. Now, it may look like, from what I see, Willow may actually snap out of it. I don't know if she has the cure for the darkness or what have you, but I can't see Willow being a heel. Skye Blue, I could see being a heel. I think something needs to change with Skye Blue, and I think this is certainly giving her a little bit more of an intriguing character for sure. But I'll tell you what, man, whatever she's doing with being misted and slowly turning to the dark side, she had Scooby-Doo colors on tonight. She had the colors of the Mystery Machine tonight on her ring gear, which looked fantastic. Let me at him! Let me at him, Scoob! Ready? Now, we're not talking about Butch from the Brawling Brutes, but Julia Hart misting Skye Blue has transformed Skye Blue into a more vicious character. And I like the intensity that Skye Blue is showing. She's got this dark eyeliner on, and it looks like she's got makeup underneath her eyes that are very reminiscent of tears. She's got dark lipstick. She doesn't smile anymore. She winks. She winks at you when she does her little ring entrance. She gets on the rope. She leans over the rope, and she winks at you. But it's a darker Skye Blue. It's not smiley from Chicago Skye Blue, and it's not goody two-shoes Skye Blue. I like this. I really do. I think this is very good stuff. And she's got a little bit more of an intense in-ring style as well to go on top of what she's doing in the ring with the character. I love it. But I do think that we're leaning towards Skye Blue potentially joining the House of Black. Julia Hart just got married to my guy Lee Johnson, man. Congratulations to them. I seen Julia Hart posted some pictures on Twitter about the wedding and the wedding day. Congratulations to both of them. We love both of them here on the podcast. So hopefully they have a tremendous honeymoon and enjoy themselves. But Skye Blue may actually end up joining the House of Black at the end of all of this, man. I think that would be fantastic. She went one-on-one with Hallie J. This went 2 minutes. Not much to this at all, but they made the most of the 2 minutes that they had in the ring. Physical match. Hollywood Hallie J was throwing some bombs in there, man. It looked like she was stiff-shotting Skye Blue tonight. I don't know if that was by design or if she got ticked off with the way Skye Blue was throwing some bombs at her. I don't know, man. It looked a little stiff for me in the 2 minutes. Hollywood Hallie J, man, I'm a big fan of what she does. She sells very well. She's got a very nice look, and she's very intense, man. She gets in there. One of the things I always criticize about women's professional wrestling is that women, most of the time you see these ladies get in there and they're afraid to throw a punch, and they're afraid to get dirty, and they're afraid to get their fucking hair messed up, and they're afraid to lose a hair extension or a fucking eyelash or eyebrows, whatever. It's disgusting. I can't stand it. Hollywood Holly J gets in there, and she gets in there to fucking work, and she gets in there to wrestle. That's why I appreciate what she's done and why I actually have become very intrigued by what she is in OVW. And she takes after her mother, which is great. So I definitely want to see more of what she can do. And I'm going to be very curious to see if AEW does use her a little bit more and potentially brings her in for more work, knowing that she's on the WWE radar. And, the show's blowing up on Netflix. It's already been lighted for a season 2. So, I could see Tony Khan wanting to be petty, as always, and take somebody that WWE's had an eye on and sign them to a contract so they don't go back to the Performance Center. It's going to be very interesting. But this match was very physical, and Hollywood Holly J swept Skye Blue's legs. Blue ducked a big charge out of the corner, landed a running power bomb, and she followed up with her Skye Blue finish. What is she called? The Code Blue? Code Blue, 1, 2, 3. Didn't look really much like a Code Blue at all. It looked like a standard sunset flip. But she got the win anyway. 2 minutes, and Skye Blue gets the victory over Hollywood Holly J. And I'd like to see more. I could definitely get behind this darker version of Skye Blue. Wink, wink. Wink emoji. Get your mind out of the gutter, guys. Get your mind out of the gutter. I know Tony Brown was watching this match with eyes wide open. Austin and Colton Gunn with Jay White. They went in there and they had a squash match against the Outrunners. The Outrunners. This is what I don't like about Collision. This is the one thing I don't like about Collision. Why are we getting squash matches like this on Collision? I don't understand it. When Punk was there and they started Collision off on the right foot, you didn't really see any squash matches. It was top-tier guys in the ring doing top-tier shit. But the Guns wrestling these two clowns? Why? Why do we need this to take up the show? Then we had another squash match with FTR later in the show. Why? You want to watch wrestling on a Saturday night, you want to watch something that's substantial. Not fucking job matches with the Outrunners. 2 minutes. They hit 310 to Yuma, and that was it. I mean, what the fuck do you want me to say? The big screen showed the guy in the devil's mask looking around. Jay White was about to cut a promo. They looked around on the big screen. Big screen went black. They thought that he was going to show up in the venue. They left very quickly. And Jay White, with the triple B in his possession, said nothing. He didn't say anything. That was it. Hopefully we get more of this on Wednesday. But I did ask, because we have been going a few weeks now without any mention of the devil mask and who's behind the devil mask and who attacked Jay White. Who are the other men? Jay White thinks it's MJF. That's the reason why we haven't heard much of it. Jay White thinks it's MJF. We know it's not MJF. We know it's not. How lame would that be if it's MJF? That's what they want you to think. But it's not MJF. Backstage, Lexi Nair interviewed Orange Cassidy about defending the International Championship against John Silver on Battle of the Belts. Chris Statlander was wandering around in the background. She said she needed to get pumped up for her match with Willow Nightingale. So she picked up Lexi Nair, put her over her shoulders, and started doing squats with Lexi Nair. Eddie Kingston, the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. He went one-on-one with J-E-F-F, J-A-R-R-E-T-T, Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett's on TV because we're in Memphis, Tennessee. A Memphis street fight between Eddie Kingston and Jeff Jarrett. This was all over the place. All over the place. If Jarrett won tonight, Jay Lethal would receive a shot at Eddie Kingston's Ring of Honor World Championship at a later date. When, where, I don't really care. I don't watch Ring of Honor. Legendary Memphis wrestling announcer Dave Brown, who? Well before my time, man. Don't care. Joined commentary. He noted that he'd been calling matches with Jeff Jarrett, or for Jeff Jarrett, since he was 18 years old. Well before my time. Jarrett got a big reaction in Memphis. Memphis, Tennessee! Kingston came out. He didn't even have the Ring of Honor title around his waist. He came out in a fucking jersey, jeans, ready to fuck shit up. Ready to fuck shit up was Eddie Kingston. He was immediately overwhelmed by the numbers of Jeff Jarrett's cringy stable. Jarrett and Kingston brawled towards the stage. They had this little makeshift concession stand. Kingston was throwing hot dogs at Jeff Jarrett. He pulled out the mustard. A good hot dog with mustard, man. Can't go wrong. Jarrett threw a barricade at Kingston before hitting him with whatever was laying around the ring. There was a street cone and some kendo sticks and a trash pail lid. Bunch of shit. Kingston came back with a headbutt. He squirted Jarrett in the face with ketchup and mustard. This is the type of night that we're in for, man. We got fucking ketchup and mustard flying in a Memphis, Tennessee street fight. It's great. Everything that Jeff Jarrett does is just campy, cringy garbage. I don't really get it. I don't see what the appeal is. Kingston laid Jarrett on a table that was set up, but Karen Jarrett clawed his eyes out. Lethal then took Kingston off of the stage with a cutter through a table, and that looked great. Probably the best spot of the entire night of this match. Back from commercial, Jarrett used whatever was laying around the ring. He worked over Kingston's knee. After using everything that was laying there on Kingston, Jarrett locked on a figure four. So we got some scientific pro wrestling in a Memphis, Tennessee street fight. Kingston was writhing in pain before reversing the figure four. Lethal went up for an elbow drop, but Jarrett ended up rolling Kingston out of the way. Kingston fought. That was actually a nice spot. I'll give them that. Kingston fought 2-on-1 before nailing Sanjay Dutt with a big right hand. Kingston caught Jarrett with a big spinning back fist. Lethal cut off the pin after Kingston went for the 1-2, and then he broke up the cover. Kingston fought off Lethal and drilled Singh with Jarrett's guitar. Satnam Singh, big man, gets hit with the guitar. That allowed Jarrett to hit his finishing move, the stroke. Jarrett took too long to pin him. This allowed Kingston to kick out. Satnam Singh, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal all hit their finishers on Eddie Kingston, allowing Jarrett to score the win and get a title shot for Jay Lethal at the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. Now, you guys may like Jeff Jarrett and this campy garbage, this just over-the-top, obnoxious, just booking that Jeff Jarrett has kind of nestled himself in. It's the same shit every match. It's just constant outside interference. Sometimes it's just too much, and it honestly takes my attention away from the match because I know exactly how it's going to end up. It's the same shit every fucking time he wrestles. Don't know why Jeff Jarrett is on weekly television as much as he is. It's a lot less than what was, but I don't know why we have Jeff Jarrett on TV. I don't. How many people does this company employ and they constantly use Jeff Jarrett? Nobody asks for this. So, one big, huge, glaring logic gap. Now, before anybody says, oh, well, he tried to tell his story of Eddie Kingston losing and
Jeff Jarrett cheating to win to get Jay Lethal the title shot.
Great. I know. Thank you. Fucking geek in the back who thinks I don't know shit. I know. But my question is, you got Satnam Singh, you got Sanjay Dutt, you got Karen Jarrett, you got Jay Lethal, and Jeff Jarrett out there. 5-on-1. 5-on-1. Does Eddie Kingston have nobody in the back that cares for his well-being? Does Eddie Kingston have no friends in the back at all, watching him get his ass handed to him unfairly? Nobody in the back had any desire to come out and say, you know what? I care about Eddie Kingston. He's my friend, and I don't want to see him get beat up by 5 different people. He must be the most hated man in the locker room. Honestly. Ridiculous booking. This is why I don't like it. It's tough to believe. Eddie Kingston loses. He gives Jay Lethal a title opportunity now. And then I don't know when that's going to be. More than likely, that's going to be your main event for the Final Battle pay-per-view, I'm assuming. We'll get there in December. If they want to continue building that, I don't know. Miro. He went one-on-one with Action Andretti next, but before that, Lexi Nair was backstage with the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed were interviewed. Caster asked Lexi to use a belt on her. Anthony Bowen said Max got it all wrong. Billy says he's going through a transitional phase. Bowens said Matt Menard can't even get on the same page as Danny Garcia. Great. What are we doing with those trios titles again? Nothing? Yeah, I figured. Miro. He goes one-on-one with Action Andretti. CJ, Miro's wife, made her entrance first. Andretti then made his entrance. Miro then made his entrance. This match went 11 minutes. 11 minutes. You would think that Miro should have squashed this guy in 3 minutes. Action Andretti got a lot of offense on Miro. I don't really understand why. Miro should be a fucking killer. Seriously. Action Andretti went 11 minutes with a fresh Miro. A fresh, angry Miro who wants to shun his wife. Don't know who produced this match and thought it was a great idea to go 11 minutes here, but there you go. So Andretti landed on his feet after a big corner spot, jumps off the top rope, peppered Miro with some drop kicks. Didn't really have an effect on Miro. Miro cut off Andretti, springboard with a forearm before drilling him with some short arm lariats. Miro sent Andretti shoulder first into the ring post. We go to commercial break. Andretti fought back. He was in a chin lock. He came back after the commercial break. He fired up, starting to make a babyface comeback, sending Miro to the floor. Hit a big dive on Miro. We go back to the ring. Miro caught a big high cross body attempt, slammed Andretti down to the mat with a Uranage. After blowing a kiss to his wife at ringside, Miro went for game over. And that was basically not it. Andretti countered with a flash pin for a near fall. Andretti hit a tornado DDT, shotgun drop kick, springboard 450, which looked sloppy. Miro kicked out at a 1. Andretti hoisted Miro up. His back gave out because Miro was the much larger man. Miro hit the side kick, locked on, game over. And that was basically it. Tapped him out. Bent him in half like he fucking snapped a pencil. Miro wins. That's basically it. CJ Perry looked on, not amused at all, wondering what else she has to do and what other individual she may be managing or possibly managing. She's going after Andrade now. The android may be in trouble. I mean, if Andrade looks at CJ, I don't know, man. I don't know. He may be trading the Android in for a newer piece of hardware. Can't get any better than CJ, man. I'll tell you that. What? Hot, flexible wife, man. Who doesn't want that? Tony Schiavone announced that Hikaru Shida would be defending the AEW Women's title against Ruby Soho on Wednesday's Dynamite. Why? Why? Is there a story there? Is there a story with Ruby Soho that I don't know? Why are we doing random matches? Where is the story for the women's title? Or maybe Sheeta's going to blow through everybody, get to the pay-per-view and say, I've beaten everybody. There's no one else left for me to beat. And then out comes Mercedes Moné. One could hope. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? Why is the match happening on Wednesday? I don't know. Lexi Nair. She interviewed Anna Jay, Menard, Parker, and Garcia backstage about their trios title match. Lexi said last night the beef was squashed and asked if it's still squashed. Menard said at 9 a.m. they had a family breakfast and are all on the same page. He said it was a great morning because they had no dancing, meaning Danny Garcia's dancing. Anna stormed off. Menard said it was just a joke. Lexi was kind of befuddled at all this. Interviewed Ruby Soho, who came on in for her segment. Angelo Parker was still standing there. She asked Angelo Parker if they're having family problems. He told Ruby Soho that, yeah, the family's falling apart, but at least he'll be a champion after tonight. No. Now, he's trying to hit on Ruby Soho by pretending like he's going to be a champion. He's trying to sweet talk her. No. Sorry. Ruby says, sure, get out of my shot. He said, family's falling apart. He'll be a champion. Ruby shoot him away. Ruby said that got her thinking about everybody here in the company. She thinks everybody thinks they deserve a title shot by basically doing nothing. She says she deserves a title, so she's going to become champion whether it's on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Lexi said, we've got a lot going on. Don't know why Ruby wants a title shot. Well, I know why she wants a title shot. I don't know why she's getting a title shot. Schiavone. He said something is going on backstage. They cut to a bloodied Kingston. He was bleeding during his match with Jeff Jarrett. He's unwrapping the tape from his wrists and ranting about Jay Lethal lowering himself to hanging out with a carny son of a bitch like Jeff Jarrett. He said he used to be a pro wrestler and now he does not respect him. What happened to you? He told him to find his way again. Basically, that's the gist of what Eddie Kingston said. It was a very, very good promo, as usual with Eddie Kingston. We're getting Jay Lethal and Eddie Kingston at some point for the Ring of Honor World title. FTR. Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, they are back on television for the first time since losing the AEW Tag Team Championships. They wrestled two jobbers, went to a no contest because the House of Black interrupted again. Lights went out, and they were in the ring. So we got them brawling with FTR, and I'm liking what I'm seeing here, man. The House of Black throwing them into the mix all over the place on Saturday night is the way to go. Seriously. I love it. House of Black took out FTR, stood tall, and they are asserting themselves as the alpha group on Saturday night. We had a meeting with Roosh and his boys. Roosh was tired of seeing other wrestlers get opportunities and being told that he was too violent. He was sick of conforming just to see other people get what he deserves. This will be continued. I like Roosh, man. I don't know. They signed Roosh to do nothing. What the fuck is he doing? Where has Roosh been? Told you, man. I think AEW would benefit from split rosters. I really do. Once you start getting Collision mixing with Dynamite and Dynamite mixing with Collision, you're going to create less opportunity for everybody that's on that roster. Dynamite should have a separate roster and Collision should have a separate roster. There's more than enough talent to make the networks say, wow, what a roster we got. Don't know why Roosh and his boys are not factored into any story right now. Big Bill and Ricky Starks. They defended the tag team championships against Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. This was a very good main event. Solid main event. We had a lot going on here. Great wrestling match. House of Black once again threw themselves into the mix. Jon Moxley returned. Good stuff. Jim Ross joined on commentary. And he said that he had breakfast with Jerry Lawler earlier in the day and that the King is doing very well. Good to hear. Starks and Yuta started out. Yuta was using his speed and his techniques to take Starks down on the mat. Starks tagged that to Big Bill. He said, fuck this shit. Fuck wrestling. Go get him, big man. Show him who is the man. He's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. It's basically what he said without saying it. Took on Yuta, basically cut Yuta down. Yuta tried to fight back, but was unsuccessful. Yuta rung up Bill on the ropes. Distraction from Starks allowed Bill to knock Yuta off the apron into the barricade. Starks used a Blackpool Combat Club shirt at ringside to run Yuta into the barricade, and we went to a commercial break. We come back, and Bill and Starks are in control. Still all over Wheeler Yuta. Claudio saw Starks coming to pull him off the apron. Typical tag team spot, which I very much like, but didn't see Bill boot him off the apron. That was a nice spot. Yuta made his way to the corner, had no partner to tag before walking into a big boss man slam by Big Bill. He goes for a cover and gets a near fall. Yuta avoided a splash in the corner. Then we got the tag to Claudio, took it to Starks with some lariats. Claudio went old school on Starks before hitting a drop kick for a near fall. Claudio walked the ropes like Ricky Starks usually does. Ricky Starks dances on the rope while holding the wrist of his opponent. Claudio tried to do Ricky's dance while doing old school on the top rope, and it just popped me laughing. I thought it was hilarious. Starks bailed out of the ring because Claudio was going for a giant swing. Claudio followed him to the floor, hit both Starks and Bill with running European uppercuts. We went to another commercial break. Claudio hit a diving uppercut on Starks for a near fall. We get back from commercial. Claudio went for the neutralizer. Starks fought out and got out of a tag to go tag in Big Bill. Starks hit a tornado DDT. Bill followed with a big boot. Claudio brought Bill to his corner where Yuta hit an assisted shotgun dropkick for a near fall. Yuta went for a German suplex on Bill, but Starks distracted, allowing Bill to drop Yuta with a lariat. Yuta evaded multiple big moves here, but got caught by Bill with a razor's edge for a near fall. Yuta booted Starks on a spear attempt before hitting the angle slam. Claudio tagged in, hitting Starks with a lariat. He goes for a cover. He gets a 2 count. Claudio went for the giant swing, hit it. Yuta hit a drop kick on a swinging Starks. The cover was broken up by Big Bill. Claudio and Yuta were setting up for a big tag team finish, but the House of Black, lights went out, made their third appearance on the night. Black got the referee's attention as Buddy Matthews and Brody King took out Claudio. Starks hit the spear and the Rochambeau on Yuta to win and retain the titles. Don't know how this was not a DQ. The lights went out and the referee was like, her. The lights went out and the referee still acted as if he didn't see anything. Why does AEW make their referees look like Memphis, Tennessee? I don't know how to get it. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous. I mean, am I the only one thinking about this shit? Bryce Remsburg is the fucking main event referee. The lights go out and he doesn't see what the fuck is going on? I don't know. I don't know. Rochambeau, 1, 2, 3. Big Bill and Starks retain the titles. House of Black beat up on the Blackpool Combat Club, especially Wheeler Yuta. Bryan Danielson came out. Starks and Big Bill joined in on a beatdown with him. It's basically 5-on-1 here. FTR ran down. They didn't make much of a difference. They were overwhelmed. All of a sudden, Jon Moxley made his return from injury to even the odds to help the Blackpool Combat Club and FTR clear the ring. Starks was left alone to take the Shatter Machine and a Death Rider, and Claudio swung Starks. He looked at his watch. We got 3 minutes to kill. He basically swung Starks for about 2 minutes to end the show. Big Bill was watching all of this in the aisleway, and I've seen some people on Twitter ask, well, why didn't Big Bill go and save him? I mean, do you want him to be Big Bill, the retard? Or do you want him to be Big Bill from New York who's got street smarts and knows not to get involved in a 6-on-1 beatdown? You want Big Bill to get in there. I don't give a fuck how tall he is. You want Big Bill to get in there against 6 other guys? The fuck was he going to do? He was never going to be able to help Ricky Starks, and Ricky Starks should have known that because Ricky Starks probably would have did the same thing that Big Bill did. Very good tag team match. I just thought the ending was a little ridiculous. From Memphis, Tennessee, the light goes out, and nobody sees the fucking beatdown on Claudio on the outside. Liking the Blackpool Combat Club and House of Black tease. I like it. I like it a lot. Don't know where it's going, but should be very, very good. We've been anticipating a feud between these two factions for quite some time now. So we will be getting that very, very soon. Guys, that is your AEW Collision post. I wish I could tell you more, but that was basically all of the show. You know, I don't usually cover Saturday nights all that often, but being that we got Bryan Danielson and Andrade this evening, I definitely wanted to cover the show. But by the looks of it, it seemingly feels like nobody is interested in AEW Collision as far as a stream goes. I mean, you know, typically when I stream, we're at least 2,000. Easy. Couldn't even break 1,200 people tonight. So I find it to be a waste of my fucking time. We got 500 likes. We got less than $30 in Super Chat. Find Saturday night to be a waste of my fucking time. So this may be the last you see of me on AEW Collision unless we get some mega matches on Saturday night, man. This show was not all that fruitful for me whatsoever. Anyway, I'm going to throw out the DraftKings. Make sure you guys go and check out DraftKings this Sunday while you're watching your NFL football in the comfort of your own home on your couch with your favorite snacks. DraftKings. Click the link down in the description below and use that promo code JD from NY. Bet $5 if you're a new customer. Bet $5 and get $200 back in bonus bets instantly. Tonight's show sponsored by DraftKings. NFL fans, are you ready for some more exciting action on the field this week? That's right. I partnered with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official partner of the NFL, and like a Super Bowl winning defense, they've got you covered. All new customers who sign up and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you're going to use my promo code JD from NY. Bet $5 and receive $200 back in bonus bets instantly. It is that simple. That's right, guys. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. DraftKings customers can also get skin in the game with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a shot at an even bigger payout. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, no problem. You guys can still get in on all the action with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports. So what are you guys waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use that promo code JD from NY. All new customers who bet $5 are going to get $200 back in bonus bets instantly. Once again, promo code JD from NY only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Thank you guys for supporting the sponsor for tonight's show, DraftKings. As always, man, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Let's get into these super chats. And I will go, I don't know what I'm doing tonight, man. Some Destiny 2, maybe. I haven't been on Destiny in like 4 or 5 weeks now. Maybe I'll download Spider-Man and play some Spider-Man. Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. Yet another Bryan banger. I'm done with House of Black versus Blackpool. Or I'm down with House of Black versus Blackpool Combat Club. Yes. Tony Brown with a $4.99. Skye Blue's delicious booty meat rules. It's a beautiful woman, bro. It's a beautiful woman. Fantasy Kid 1977 with 21 months. 3 months from the golden microphone. I found a Grabber Blue Dark Horse today for $62K, but it was automatic and I want a 6-speed manual. Bro, where are you finding 62,000 Dark Horse, man? They didn't mark that bitch up? Man, the dealership that I'm going to in New Jersey, man, they're doing $25,000 over MSRP for me. Jordan Ritz with a 5. Last night, as a single man, and I'm here at the OTS venue. What the fuck is everyone drinking? Jordan, congratulations, brother. Jason Barker with a $5 super chat. Since TNA is back, I hope they come to their senses and bring back the hexagon, please. Is that what the fans wanted? I mean, did they want the name change? Why are we going back to TNA? Did they describe or explain why? Super Mario Brothers Wonder looks pretty good, man. I may pick that up, too. I like buying Nintendo Switch hard copies, though. Jason, thank you, brother. Hardcore Wrestling 1-on-1 with a new membership. Thank you, Hardcore Wrestling. I appreciate you, brother. Wrestling Fan for Life with a $2 super chat. Skye Blue gets hotter every week. I don't know what else she can do, man. I mean, she's already a fucking 10 out of 10. Russell Wagner with 24 months. JD, hopefully one day. Hopefully one day. I can buy you an adult beverage. So glad I found you years back screaming at Mario Kart. Keep up your hard work. Thank you, Russell. I appreciate you, brother. And that gold microphone looks pretty damn good on you, man. Arrangements with a $4.99. Hey, JD, attended my first AEW show tonight in Memphis, Tennessee. And overall, I enjoyed the experience listening to you review it on my 2-hour drive back home. Hopefully, I kept you entertained, brother. And Will Chisholm with a $5 super chat. I love Ruby, but why or what has she done to get a title match? Nothing. Just like everybody else in AEW. What have they done to get a title match or earn a title opportunity? Nothing. Nothing. Anyway, guys, that is... No, I'm not covering Battle of the Belts. Did you see the fucking card for Battle of the Belts? It looked awful. Nothing but random matches with no story. Anyway, I'm getting out of here, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. Inside my mother's basement, right here on Off the Script, from Memphis, Tennessee. Don't know when you'll see me next, man. You may see me tomorrow with some brand new content. I don't know what, but we'll figure it out. Metalhead for Life with a $4.99. Thank you, brother. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the content on the channel. There's plenty of it this week to get you caught up on everything. We're live on Wednesday, live on Thursday, live on Friday, live on Saturday. And extras in between. and hit that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously, guys. You may see me tomorrow. If not, you'll see me live on Monday right here for a brand new week with Monday Night Raw live on Off the Script. See you guys later.
I don't even know why I come.